Yeah, Chris Moore.
Who? Everyone says.
Well, go on, explain. You can tell all you are now. I'm going to talk a bit while I've been chatting here.
Started racing in 1989.
On what?
On what?
On what?
Mini stock.
Oh, did you?
RD125.
125, yeah.
3 years doing mini stock, and then on to 250 RGV, which was your old bike that we just discussed before.
Yeah.
So a lot of you might have seen the it's quite a famous video that goes around on social media doing the Carl Fogarty and James at Oldham Park. Foggy's on the VFR 400?
Yeah, the VFR, yeah.
And I ended up buying the RGV off a very young lad called Jamie Robinson, who home first lad.
Who bought it off Granny.
Who bought it off Granny. Yeah. So I got that bike to ride, and then I got offered to ride a TZ250, 1991 version of this one.
First V-twin.
First of the V-twins, yeah. And that was pretty much, well, it's just utopia, isn't it? You know, proper TZ.
Did you get into any big bikes? And you'll have to forgive me because I'm not.
No. So stayed with 250s, pretty much all my racing.
You did exactly the right thing.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
Nothing's as good as them.
No. The proper racing bikes, you know, it's a Grand Prix bike. I mean, that's a 2002. So, I mean, they finished production of these in 2009 when MotoGP finished. And they're just proper bikes. I mean, you've only got to look at them, they're like lightweight, fast power to weight ratio, stunning. And then, obviously, this past few years we've been TZ350, which is a new series called GP Originals. Yeah. And that's basically trying to sort of recreate the nostalgic end of the 80s, end of the 70s, early 80s Grand Prix racing.
Yeah, it's great stuff, but then when you look at it, I mean, I've been looking at your 350 there, it's essentially a 350 G/H that I would recognise from racing early on in my career. But actually, there's not a lot of that has been anywhere near the Yamaha factory, is it?
Not really. It's like a brand. Well, I built it last year. It's a brand new build, so you can buy the frame brand new from Bill Simpson.
Yeah.
It comes as a full kit, so it's swing arm, yokes, tank, everything, absolutely everything. And then I had to start trying to put an engine together. Yeah. And the more I was looking for stuff, it's all basically second hand. It's all worn out. So you end up going down the brand new route. It's all reproduction, brand new. So brand new cylinder, brand new head, brand new wheels because you can't find decent wheels. It just goes on and on. It ended up costing a shed load of money basically. So it's not. It's just. Well, it's a phenomenal thing to ride. It's a great series to ride in. It's just, you know, it's 30 or 35, 40 like-minded, silly old. Yeah, still having a bit of fun.
How did you get into roads?
My dad. My dad was TT racer for years. So I grew up pretty much TT. You know, we went to the TT on holiday every year. And my dad finished in the 80s, probably 86 I think his last TT. And then 96 I said I was going to do the newcomers. And I won Newcomers Manx in 96. Did the TT 97, 98 and 99 on 250s.
Yeah.
But I rode a 600, that was my first dip onto a 4-stroke, basically, in 1999 on 600. And that was a bag of just set off down rail and I felt like Paul Lorrick going down rail, you know. Tank stop it. Oh, it was horrendous.
What was that? R6?
No, CBR 600. So it was a 1992 CBR 600 in 1999.
Old bike anyway.
So it was an old, but I got lent the bike, so it just gave me another ride. That was the idea of it. So 99, I then pretty much stopped racing TT until, well, the Isle of Man until 2009. And I went back and did the Manx on the 250 because they'd recreated, well, it was the start of the, I can't remember what they called it now, like a Formula 2 race.
Yeah.
So the 250s could go back in, and crucially, they let ex-TT racers back in at the Manx. Yeah?
Yeah.
There's always used to be the unwritten rule, once you've done the TT,
you can't
go back to the Manx.
Yeah.
So that changed, fell off at the gooseneck, got riding the helicopter with a broken collarbone. Felt like a bit of a fraud actually, just to ride an helicopter. But then 2012 I went back on another 600, an Air Kawasaki ZX6, and that was a missile. That was a proper bike. But the trouble is, with typical Manx, we got really rubbish weather, so I only did about 5 laps of practice.
Right.
And then straight into the race. But we went alright. I ran out of fuel at Hilbury, so I never finished. And then just basically carried on ever since, because the classic TT then started, and 250s all the way through until this year.
What are these things like to run around the TT? I remember my first memories at TT going watching with my dad in the 70s, and it was all 2 strokes, no 4 strokes whatsoever. So 250, 350 Yams, 500 Suzuki, 750 Yamahas, and a lot of bikes did finish, like more than half the field. The attrition rate was unreal. Frames cracking, wheels breaking, seizures, a lot of seizures, cranks falling apart. What are they like? What's that like to run?
Expensive, because you've got to try and stop all those things happening. You've just got to keep throwing bits at them.
Yeah.
We're lucky with the slightly newer one, you can still get bits. And it's all about just trying to keep on top of stuff. Because mileage wise, so pistons every sort of 250 miles.
Yeah.
We're doing the crank. I try to do the crank every 750. You're running good oil as much as you can. You know, it's a little bit of a game of luck. I know Jim always says, he quite often posts on social media, you know, why do you lot still toss around this money? Yeah. It's such a money pit, but they're such a thrilling thing to ride.
I agree.
Yeah, they're just mega.
Yeah.
Light and they're so fast. Yeah.
What pads are putting out?
I've never had it on a dyno, but
80 or
good ones are 90 plus.
Yeah.
I would think this is probably 80, 85, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't weigh anything. That'll weigh, I don't know, 105 kilos.
Yeah.
No weight to it.
Yeah.
And the chassis are such that they've almost. I've only ever ridden a couple of really good 250s since I started racing big bikes, and I've just had a go on them, like things like this, nice RSs or TZs. And the balance between how much power you've got and how much weight you've got is perfect. They just do exactly what you want them to do. They turn well, they steer well, there's not a lot of weight, so they stop well.
The chassis is so stiff on it, it's a proper Grand Prix bike. Yeah.
It's a bit big for one, to be honest, but they are a good thing. No, to be fair, most of the people who went doing low 250s were little fellas. Yeah.
But anyone that rides them quite often says it's the best thing they've ever ridden.
Yeah, was that?
Yeah. It's
yeah, they're just pure. They're just a pure thing. First thing you've got to have, if you've got 200 horsepower, you need a lot of grip. So you need a tyre that wide to control the power, to take the power. But that makes your bike not a big wide tyres are not a good thing. If you them classic bikes with tyres that wide, you only need tyres that wide because you don't have any power. They always steal the way. They always just rail around corners. So when they're about the right, for me, perfect balance between power and weight.
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned the tyres. That's going to be a big problem for us coming very soon because Bridgestone are pretty much the last manufacturer that were making a good slick tyre for these, and they've stopped production. So there's certain things that are going to make running them even harder than they already are to keep on track. Because Dunlop stopped production of the slicks for the 250 years ago, which is a real shame, really. And Bridgestone just don't do the numbers, so they've pull the plug basically.
Where do you see the future of the Manx Grand Prix? I know there's been a lot said about the Manx. Anybody been in Manx? Said TT. Manx is mega. Quieter, purer. You can see a lot more. It's just a nice meeting. This Manx Grand Prix. It's like TT riding basically.
There's changes to the Manx that aren't popular now. They've reduced the length of the event, but I think whatever they do, we just need to embrace it and try and make it work, whatever they're giving us, because if we don't try and make it work, it'll go.
That's what I mean.
It'll go, we need to, and it is a great event. There's a much more variety of classes. Like Rob was rode a 350 and a 500. Sorry, I know he rode a 350. Did you? 500 this year. 500 Classic this year. Yeah. 750 Classic Superbike. The 250 race. It was poorly subscribed, really, but hopefully they'll stick with it. And
have they said they're sticking with it?
They've not said they have.
Is it 100th year of the Manx next year?
Yes.
So they're going to run 100, aren't they? They're going to run.
Yeah, but they've already said it's going to be over 9 days, so it's that reduced format. So it finishes on the bank holiday Monday.
Yeah.
But all my racing was done by Saturday this year, so I had a ball.
Yes. And you'll be back with it?
Hopefully, yeah. I rode a Super Twin this year for the Dapperbet RC Express team. I was lucky enough I asked the question if I could borrow or hire, and the answer came back that we could. And what a bike.
What's it like compared to that thing? Because that is quite the opposite. That's a GP bike that's found its way to kind of, years later, roads and TT,
and it's a shopping bike.
It's a shopping bike.
Yeah,
what
honestly, the RC Express bike is not a shopping bike.
No.
It's a proper piece of kit.
Yeah, don't you think it's odd that they bring a class in to try and make the job affordable and accessible, and then they make it so that it's one of the cheapest bikes on the team?
Yeah.
It's odd.
But it was very similar to ride though. I mean, you said what it was like to ride. Very similar. It's about high corner speed.
Yeah. Not getting rid of your speed.
Yeah. But if you sort of slow down too much, you've got more torque. Yes, it can pull you out. If you make a mistake. Yeah. So if you make a mistake, you've got tons more torque. So it's more forgiving. So just builds a quicker lap time.
Yeah.
I had a ball on that. It was great bike, and also finished second in the junior. So.
Yeah. They always say it's a heavily loved ride.
Yeah, that's my first experience of it. So.
But even they're not cheap to run. They wear themselves out for the group, don't they? The quick ones.
I don't know. I mean, we did 9 laps of practice and a 4-lap race, and all Adam did was oil changes every time. I think that's what he insists on, changing oil every time it's been.
Yeah.
We changed a pair of tyres.
And that were it?
And a rear spring, and that were it.
Oh, but when you compare it to that, then it's...
Well, we had a frigging nightmare with the 250 this year, and it wasn't, all the maintenance was done exactly the same, we threw the pistons in and should have been in, and we just had stupid little things go wrong, which happens on a fragile 250, I'd come in and I'd come back in and it'd just be that, take the 650 out.
Yeah.
And it'd just do another
keep
2
going.
laps.
Yeah. That's the point.
How's it going with modern day fueling for that? Because the fuel's on like change over the years.
Good question. Modern fuel is pretty compared to old fuel, yeah.
So we run, lucky enough we've got 2 of these, and we run one on race unleaded, like the proper racing fuel that you'll see in the BSB paddock, and this one runs on avgas, aviation fuel, which James sells at
Huddersfield International. Yeah. I sell more now. I don't sell many to aeroplane plants now, but I sell quite a lot to car and bike racing.
But there's no shortage of fuel. Obviously, the whole 250 job went unleaded back in 2004. Yeah. So in theory, they're designed to run unleaded. The 350, I run that on neat avgas as well.
You can't look about them all. They were meant to run on a lot better road fuel than we've got now. So you could even get 5-star back then in 80, and that was proper 100 octane fuel. That.
Yeah.
Get a lot of detonation seizures with it. It runs too hot on stuff. Generally.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good.
Anyone got questions, Chris? Well, what? Hey, up, flipping heck. Some famous people in tonight. Right, round of applause then for Chris Moore.